on the move.
A fresh morning, a fresh perspective.
Stay tuned to Rise and Shine on Channel Africa.
From stories in general on the African continent to now zooming into the West African region of the continent, we look at those headlines. We speak to political analyst and conflict resolution expert, Dr. David Matsanga. Dr. Matsanga, it's always great having these catch-up sessions with you. How are you this Wednesday?
Very well, and I woke up ready for this exercise. I greet the entire Africa, good morning. And those who are still sleeping, wake up and work for Africa.
Yes, are you back? You were traveling last week. How were the travels?
Yes, travel was in the pursuit for peace, in the pursuit for changing. Nigeria is one of the biggest countries in Africa, but very shameful country. Human rights abuses.
Today, let's start with Togo.
Happened. So I was working on some enforcement orders that had been given by the courts of the United Nations on Nigeria and Cameroon.
And I'm sure we'll catch up on that story another time, Dr. Matsanga. It sounds very interesting. Let's start with Togo, though, today in our wrap. The ruling party there has won the municipal elections by over 75%. What was voter turnout like there, and what do you make of this big number, 75%?
It's self-won election. The opposition boycotted almost most of the stations. Opposition were not very much involved. So when the ruling party says it has won 75%, it won against itself. You know, Togo is one of the areas where there is anything that will be something that is going to happen, just as I predicted in so many places in Africa. If you look at the way things are going in Togo, I think it looks like it is one of the candidates for a very serious change. The leader changed the constitution, empowered himself with another extra 7 years, and then muzzled the opposition. People have been protesting, people have been locked up. It is all the same game of Africa as it is. Take power, strengthen your position, win an election against yourself.
So as far as these municipal election results are concerned, they're not final. Political parties still have about 5 days to contest them. Do you see any contestation to them?
But it is useless to contest any elections in Togo because the system is just a system by the Togolese president. So how are you going to contest something that you know you will fail, you will come out? This is one of the problems, of the trigger problems in Africa. I think Africa should start changing what type of model of democracy they want. Do they want elective democracy where you go one man, one vote, or we need consensus democracy? That's the debate, because elections in Africa are triggering a conflict.
So the UK, let's move on to there now. They've announced new measures to simplify imports from African countries to make it easier for UK-Africa trade. Are there specific target countries and sectors under this new measure?
There are several countries, but you know some of the beneficiaries of this trade will be the Commonwealth countries, especially my country, Uganda, where I was born over 60 years ago. It is going to benefit. In fact, in London, I eat the food like I eat in Uganda. There is nothing. The only thing I miss is the weather. But the markets are full of commodities from Uganda, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from South Africa. The Commonwealth is actually benefiting quite a lot out of this new trade. So Britain, as you could note from all the analysis of international relations, you can see that Britain is quietly doing a very good diplomacy. Stammer is doing a quiet diplomacy as opposed to the rooftop diplomacy of Mr. Trump. Therefore, we are coming back of course, as a civilized nation, which does not behave like Mr. Trump, is trying to bring back the market, the African market, which is plenty, by removing some of the barriers that had prohibited Africa from trading as equal partners.
So as you speak of that, can this be seen as an opportunistic move given the US's tariff schemes and measures, whether it's good or not?
I think this is a good move for the British economy, for the British citizens, for the British businesses. It's not opportunistic. In fact, the one that is opportunistic is in the Atlantic Ocean across of America. They tell you, come, give us South Africa, give us minerals. And if you don't give us minerals, we shall say there are white farmers being killed there every day, 1,000 of them. That is not the policy. Britain is doing things in a systematic, it's not opportunistic, it is grabbing the chance where America has lost glory.
So these amendments to the UK's developing countries trading scheme, what do they remove? What do they add to those previous requirements?
They remove trading. You know, when you are importing goods from Africa, there are certain standards that were set. For example, most of our goods are organic, especially, let me speak on my behalf, on behalf of my Ugandan product. We grow organic goods, organic mangoes, organic oranges, organic okra, organic cabbages, organic, all these bananas. We have good organic food that goes into the British market, which is needed by the British citizens and other people who need them in Europe. But there were limitations, there were specific follow directions that the European Union put there. Before you can enter their market, you must grow the food in this way, you must use that type of fertilizers. You know, some of them were not working at all. So these are some of the smaller things. Second, the taxation. They have waived some taxation. For example, some of the Uganda products arrive in UK with less or nothing like a taxation. And there are a few countries that have been given exemptions.
Let's move to Niger now, Doctor. A precious rock from Mars that was found in Niger has sold for $5.3 million at an auction in New York. How was it discovered and how did it end up in the US?
That is exactly how did it end up in the US. You note that the United States of America is hovering around the Sahara region. First, the French bring a war, make that war place impossible by anyone. Then all of a sudden, there is a big stone that has actually run 140 miles, a million miles from Mars and landed there. But from nowhere, you find people have gone to pick the stone, but people don't want to remove insurgency, ISIS. Why is it that they are more interested in removing the stone when in Niger, in the area where the stone fell, there was insurgency, but they don't want to remove it. Now, they come for the stone, pick it up, and how it ended up, they took it. They even tell us that this is a very bad stone. You see, some of these characters have colonial mentality of David Livingstone, who arrived in 1843 somewhere there where you are now, and arrived on this continent, created as this, while you pray, land is being taken. While you are there fighting insurgency, your stone is being taken, which is valued at $5.4 million. Surely, I think time has come. All is the blame is African Union. We have not put our house together, and we are going to lament, write books of lamentation.
Scientists are reportedly in outrage over the sale of this precious rock. I'm not sure if it's Niger scientists or scientists from the US or the world around. What are they complaining? What are they saying should have been done with this rock instead?
It should have been returned to Niger itself for them to decide on what they want to do. They could have kept the rock for people to go and visit to see what life is on Mars. You and I would even fly to Niger, Niamey, and go to the museum and watch, how much money would that bring? Plenty. Then you have taken it to the New York and sold it. It's not yours. But you said they were insurgents, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Nini Maghreb, that area, Sahel region. Don't go there. And they put, travel adversary that don't go to Niger. But you find these Americans busy down there in Niger, in the villages. How do they survive these insurgents?
So,
that's another topic for another day.
Dr. Matsanga, does this rock form part of Niger's cultural heritage, however? It's from Mars. Does it not belong to the whole world? What is the likelihood of it being
Asanda,
returned to Niger?
Let's see if why is gold in South Africa and not in America? It is yours. Whatever falls in your country remains in your territorial international boundaries are recognized. Niger is a state recognized by UN, my sister. So therefore, if this stone fell in Niger, why didn't it fall in New York? God chose it to fall in Niger. Give them their stone. Why do you sell it without their permission?
Let's move over to Mali now. The armed forces there, in partnership with Russian-backed Wagner Group fighters, have committed executions of Fulani men since January this year. These accusations are coming from Human Rights Watch. How can we confirm and why are they coming out now? Because this was since Jan.
Let me tell you, Human Rights Watch is an American NGO, an outfit of CIA. Of course, I speak my mind. They do these things as an output, an outfit linked to a CIA system. So what can they report about Russia? Whenever they smell Russia somewhere, they will say, look, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, especially Mali, has been fighting insurgents of Boko Haram, ISIS, the Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. That has been there for years, planted by the French. The French enjoy this area to be in chaos so that they take more minerals, more uranium, more gold, more everything that is in that Sahara Desert. Now, my friend Captain Gota, the general, the man in charge in Niger, decided after he had overthrown the government of the elected government, he said, let's fight insurgents, wipe this out. Because truly speaking, they have made a lot of scores against the insurgents. They have weakened the Al-Qaeda, ISIS groups that were remnants, cells that are there, which will open up the route towards Libya and the Mediterranean Sea. So when you see that being done, Human Rights Watch comes in, CIA tactics comes in, we must investigate. Why didn't you investigate? Why are you not investigating the human rights abuses in Nigeria? Why are you not investigating human rights abuses in Cameroon, southern Cameroon, where millions are being killed, slaughtered, starved, women who have never seen even life, children who have never gone to school? Some of these agencies must be told, get out of Africa. Get out. If we had a stronger AU, headed by powerful Pan-African bodies, politically minded, well-educated, streamlined, not ambassadors who have just gone to Addis Ababa to occupy this place and earn dollars when they don't know, they don't even have documents. They have not documented how many people have died in Africa in those areas. It is a sad story. Gota is doing the right thing. Whether he's doing it with the Russians working in a group, that is okay. As long as he gets rid of the insurgents that is in his area.
Finally, Dr. Matsanga, in about 30 seconds, because that's all we have, Senegal's president dissolving the National Assembly. Why did he do that, President Bassirou Diomaye?
This is a younger man who has annoyed me. I'm upset, but as an elder, I'm not upset because I'm one of the few people who struggled for them to have freedom out of Macky Sall. The two of them have started fighting, Sonko and Faye. And I'm going to fly into Dakar in the next coming week. I will be in Dakar I want to see that they have that unity, because I played a pivotal role for their release. No African leader was talking about them being released from jail. It was Matsanga. So I don't see why he is doing this. This guy has let me down. He has now gone into the French pockets. He's doing what the French want. Again, instead of sticking to the original agreement of Sonko, he's doing the opposite. The opposition is up in arms. In fact, they might lose power as a result of the bad management of Faye and his group, as a result of the infighting, the bitter. Africa needs this thing called a redemption strategy, Asanda. The one that you people did in South Africa. If most African countries don't do the redemption strategy, please, African leaders, listen to me. In Uganda, we were killing each other. Today, as we speak, that war ended. We did a redemption strategy. I was at the top of it, introducing this redemption strategy as a conflict resolution expert. Please, come and do a redemption. Stop fighting. Stop wars. Stop within governments.
Yes.
Yourselves fighting
Dr.
each other.
Matsanga, we're going to have to leave it there for today. That's all the time we have. But thanking you again for your time. We always appreciate your insights.
Thank you very much, Asanda. And I also appreciate your voice all the time. And keep it going. Africa must rise and shine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is political analyst and conflict resolution expert, Dr. David Matsanga. 31 minutes past 6 Central African time. Let's get our news headlines. Here's Jolani Tulo Mwepe.
SABC News. Headlines. The African Perspective.